Okay, guys, final day of horse lessons, and we're just going to kind of have a bit of fun today. No, it's advisors, a short day. Tomorrow's football game and a long 3-day weekend. So we're going to make this relatively short, easy assignment today. Today, we're going to learn about two things. We're going to learn about some different kind of maybe some of them in Oklahoma we know about really well, like barrel racing. And some of these, one of these horse competitions, I can't even pronounce the name of it. But our book goes through a large number of horse competitions that people do. And so I'm going to go through that. And then the last part of the hour, you're going to learn a little bit about farrowing. Farrowing. Okay. So this isn't farrowing like pigs birthing. But basically how to shoe horses, which is definitely a big, important part of maintaining horse health. And so the first part of this video, I'm going to walk you through some various competitions. Your notes are very simple. As we go through these competitions, write a little description what that contest involves. Okay, if you're watching this on your own time and you send this to me later, do not copy and paste descriptions online. If it sounds like a college student wrote it, I will know it was not you. Okay, so with that in mind, let's dive into some various competitions. All right, so I'm going to start today with team pinning. So we talked about cutting the other day, right? And so cutting, you basically have one person and they're going to remove an identified calf from the herd and try to keep them separated. Team pinning, obviously, we have a little different aspect here. So we have teams, and you can see these guys all kind of dressed in matching outfits. I love these. These are typically at these cowboy ranch rodeos where you have real legitimate cowboys that do this stuff all the time that are now out and they're going to do this. And so you're going to see this guy holding him back, and at a certain time, when he tells them it's time to go, they're going to take off. That guy just gave him a 3. I'm going to assume that that is a number 3, okay, like 3 cattle. And so they're going to come over. They're going to remove a set number from the herd. They do have numbers on them. So we're going to learn this as we go. So you can see the number 3 on that animal, okay? So we're removing those animals from the herd. See at least another number 3 up there. And the goal is going to be to get these animals pinned up in that pen at a set amount of time, and just the ones with that number 3 on there. So you can see we ran that one out. We didn't want that one. Okay. These guys, I believe all of them have a number 3 on them. So they're going to herd them off. The goal is to get them all in there, and one just absolutely would not. There's always one. It's kind of like you guys. So anyway, that is team pinning. The point is to get certain cattle and a certain number of cattle separated and brought into the pen with the other cattle and close that gate. Okay. And I would say that these guys, it is not going very well. These guys probably are not having their best day. So anyway, little bit about team pinning. All right. The next one, and I may be out of order on these, this is also an Olympic sport, and this is called driving. Okay, so when we talk about driving, it's going to involve one or more horses that are pulling a cart, a wagon, or a carriage. Some of them are going to be in a show ring, kind of fancy setup like this, and other ones are going to be more in a rigorous cross-country style competition. So this one's a little bit fancier, and so we have these guys kind of makes think of a bobsled team where we have different people in different roles here as they go around the corner. But you're going to have a set amount of time, and you're going to have to do a different routine throughout here and go at a different speed. And we'll watch this whole thing. These guys were first place at the Olympics, so that's pretty cool. I think the London Olympia, I don't know if that's actually the Olympics or not, but you can see the time. So the time is going right there. Now they're going to have to go through all the different obstacles and hurdles, etc. You'll notice we talked about blinders the other day. These horses definitely have them on. The goal is we can't hit any of these cones. We can't hit anything. If we were to do that, that's going to add additional time. Cool. Not gonna lie. Not something I feel like we see around here very often. Hurdle. All right, so their time was first place by quite a bit. So that is driving. So we've talked about team pitting, talked about dressage the other day. Now we're going to talk. We talked about driving. All right, now as we move on to, I'm going to save that one for last. Where are we at here? I cannot say this word, but it is on your paper. Gymkhana. Okay, Gymkhana. Our description in the book is actually that this contest is going to test a horse and rider's speed and agility. And there are various games they're going to put them through. Many of the games are designed to help young riders practice skills like mounting, dismounting, starting and stopping in a way that is fun and competitive. Okay, so kind of, I would say a little more of maybe a starter type contest in comparison to maybe some of the others that we're going to show here today. Fortunately, I can't get the audio to quite sync up with this. So that's why you get Mr. Branscum's summaries as we go here. All of these to help the young riders gain some skills, right? The games get, some of them can be kind of fun and goofy and a little different. Thought that one was pretty cool personally. Got it. All right, so that is that. Gimkahana cannot claim to know what that is, to be honest. But anyway, a little bit about that. Okay, next one that I have on here that I want us to know. You probably have heard of this, but this is polo, right? And so you probably have seen some of this as well. This is a team sport. You're going to have 4 members on each team, and the mallets are supposed to be hit into a goal. Okay, obviously not a common U.S. sport, I would say, but like I said, for those of you scrambling to find things to write about with this, we have teams of 4. You can see the different colors, and they're trying to hit these through the goal. And that horse is very fast. So, a little bit about that one. Okay. Now in our book, it talks about rodeoing, and I felt like what about in terms of training than talking about barrel racing. So if you have not seen barrel racing before, okay, barrel racing is essentially what you see right here. Okay, this is going to be done typically with quarter horses, right? And this is where we're coming out of the gate. and we are going around these various barrels and having to come back through in a set amount of time. And I'm going to kind of just jump through so you can, I want to start this one. So you can see him come out really fast, go around these barrels. If we knock him over, we're going to get some additional time tacked on. We don't want that to happen. And then you're going to go straight back. So 3 loops around there, and you're going to head back. And this is the rodeo example that I have on here, but there's lots of rodeo examples. We could talk about bronc riding. We could talk about calf roping. In fact, I should pull up some calf roping and steer roping, team roping, steer wrestling, all that type of stuff. But I didn't have those on there. And then just for laughs, I wanted to show you this. And if you've never seen this before, this is one of my favorites. And this is wild cow milking. And so these are done often at these cowboy ranch rodeos. And so the goal here is we have to catch this very wild cow. This is not a Holstein. This is not an animal that is used to people getting it up and working it. And they're essentially going to have to rope this animal and catch it. Once they do, all these people are going to run up here and they're going to try to milk this angry, ticked off mama cow. And they're, I love this. And they're going to try to milk her. They're going to fill that up. When they get a certain amount of milk in that bottle, we'll talk about what kind of bottle that is. Then they're going to run back to the finish line. They're going to flip that bad boy upside down. And so much has to come out onto the thing. And this is being timed. So this is not about the quantity that they get, but it's about the amount of time. So that guy's going to come right there. He does have to prove they usually have to turn it upside down. Right, some milk pours out. And that's pretty cool. Now, I feel like I got through here. This one's not on your notes. This can be a bonus one. But if you haven't seen this, this is calf roping, okay, done as a team here. So we're going to let that bad boy out. So this is a team roping. But we're going to let that bad boy out. We're going to try to rope that one. That guy was not successful. Let's skip till we can find an old boy that is. Oh, this one is. Okay. So they're going to let him out. And then we're going to have an ad because when Mr. Branscum records this stuff live on YouTube, this is what he gets. Okay, so as they let this thing out right here, he's going to rope it. He's going to run out there. He's going to flip that bad boy. He's got to tie it, put his hands up, time stops. Looks like some of y'all, when you do the breed races, stick your hands in the air when you're done. That way we know you're done. All right, for my horse lovers in here, that was fast. That was furious. That is 4 days of horses with Mr. Branscum, and I apologize if you want more. If you want more in high school, you can take an animal science class with Miss Cleaver, and I know she spends considerably more time on horses than old Mr. Branscum does. The last 12-minute video of this unit and the last bit on your worksheet today will not be taught by me, but will actually be taught by someone actually in the field doing this. So I want to talk about a farrier, and a farrier is someone who actually goes and shoes horses, right? And so, the goats and sheep and cattle down in the barns, right? Especially goats and sheep. We've got to do some hoof work from time to time on them to keep them nice and smooth because those things are growing. With horses, we also want those shoes usually metal, right? You all know what horseshoes look like. Probably played the game or something like that, right? But I want to show you what this guy does. And he does a great job of walking through and explaining what he does the entire time. And so the sub's actually going to switch the video over. We're going to put that video on. You're going to watch that. You're going to write down some kind of descriptions of what you learned, gained, probably 4 or 5 sentences. This one should be a little bit longer of what you learned and gained. And that'll be it for today. I hope you guys were respectful. I have missed you guys the last 2 weeks, and I do look forward to seeing you in class on Monday. Don't forget, 9th graders, learn your creed. Do your $5 challenge. 8th graders, get that daggum agri-science project done. For both classes, those projects have such a considerable weight on your grade. Okay, guys, have an awesome 3-day weekend. Go Pioneers. Hopefully we'll win a state title this weekend. But take care, guys.